Alright, what is up guys? JaretCampisi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back to work on our carbon BMW M1000RR and we're getting very close to being done with this bike. Believe it or not, it's the second to last installation video on this bike. Then we've got decals, ceramic coating, and it's pretty much done. So don't forget, patreon.com/Campisi Customs is always the first link in the description below. You can be entered to win this bike when it's done, and we're getting very, very close. It's literally gonna be done in February, and we'll give it away in March. So get signed up now if you wanna be entered to win this bike, and enjoy the video. All right, so this is it for our box of installation parts. Again, we're gonna send all the quad lock stuff along with the new owner. That stuff Christina bought because this was originally her bike. The flasher you can use to put different stuff on it. We're not gonna do the crash protection. I just don't like how crash protection looks, so I'll leave that to the new owner. It's super easy to bolt on. Pro-type bolts, so these are it. So I'm gonna hand these to Dado. We're gonna try and find where the hell all these bolts go. I think we have extra ones because we now have a full carbon rear subframe, which there was probably at least 6 to 8 bolts that went in various parts of the original subframe that we no longer have because ours is single seat cowl for the carbon one. But you can see this thing sitting in here under the lights. It is a disgustingly gorgeous motorcycle. And don't worry, I know the red calipers look out of place right now. When we do the decals with in-chain designs, there's gonna be red and blue in the decals, so it's all gonna make a lot more sense. So what we're doing right now is you can see where we've got titanium bolts here, and here, and here, and in the rear rotors and stuff. We're literally gonna go over the entire bike and change out every single bolt that's left over. So all of these bolts here, we still haven't put in this one right here. We actually have a titanium stem nut coming. We have a carbon windscreen coming as well. We don't have that yet. It's gonna be on Wednesday of this week. All of these bolts here, this bolt under here, this bolt here. They actually do make a kit for bolts of these, but they were sold out. So I believe they even make these, but they were also sold out. Caliper bolts are coming. Manny's sending those. So that'll be next. We'll have blue caliper bolts, titanium. Yeah, we have all titanium bolts in our rear rotors. We have titanium bolts in our chain and sprocket setup. Yeah, I mean, we even have titanium bolts coming for these blue ones for our swing arm pivot bolts. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, every bolt on the bike is gonna be, well, all the fairing bolts are gonna be titanium. We got as many other bolts in titanium as we possibly could. So yeah, this thing is looking absolutely disgusting. And now we gotta figure out where the hell all these bolts go. Look at this. Look at how many bolts there are. It's crazy. There's so many. Dado said there's really only, what, 2 different types of main bolts for the fairings? Long shanks, like these? Yeah, there's short ones?
Longer and shorter bolts. There's also ones that are straight thread, and then some of them have the little shank on it. Yeah. And then that's pretty much it. And then some of them are T25 and some of them are T20. Right. But other than that...
It's nice that they tell you where they are, the Newton meter torques on them as well, which is really nice. The only thing that I don't
throw
like,
the box out.
Yeah, throw it in the fire in our case. The only thing I didn't like about these is sometimes they don't. It isn't clear where they go. Like trim cover upper section, that makes sense. Trim frame kind of makes sense. Rear side panel, I guess, makes sense. But then there's ones like these, like engine spoiler. Like what the hell is that? I don't know what that is. So we're gonna have to do some research online and figure out where they go. But again, motomillion.com, that's where we get all of our parts from. You can use code Campisi to save yourself some money. And right behind this whole setup, look at this. Dado's new tumblers that he's selling. Basically, you can use them for water, for coffee, they're insulated. They're super cool. He's got a bunch of different logo designs that he's doing, and then he even has more expensive ones where the design goes all the way around. That's a Campisi Customs, and a Dado made one with these super cool gears on them.
Yeah, and this one, there's gonna be 2. This one has the Panigale, and then it has...
That's when we started our build series,
and then the other one has the Street Fighter.
Yeah, so yeah.
Somebody was like, hey, can you do an M1000? I'm like, yep, I gotta design it, but...
That's so badass. So, DadoMadeShop.com, it's always linked in the description below, along with all the Moto Million stuff to try to make it as easy as possible for you guys. And we massively appreciate all the support whenever you do order stuff. But we're gonna figure out where these bolts go and let's get to work. All right, so what we're gonna do, we laid all the bolts out. We're gonna just start pulling bolts and then just matching them and putting the new ones in. It's the safest or the easiest way to do it instead of trying to search online for what the freaking code names are, and we just don't want to deal with it. The other thing too is after we're done with all the titanium bolts, I think we're gonna finish bleeding the brake system. It's pretty good, but I think that we need to bleed the other side of the brakes and then just bleed the whole system one more time, and that should all be good to go. But oh man, it's so premium. If you didn't see that episode, look at that. Got a new master on there, new levers, new reservoir, and then on this side, but then we also have a new steering stem nut coming. Looks incredible. So what do you think?
All right, so I did find the right pack.
Okay.
It does come with this one.
Oh, nice. So there you go. There's the ones we took out. There's the new ones. For some reason, the blue ones look way longer to me by the eye, but they're exactly the same. And we believe this is for the front as well, but we're gonna double check that. All right, so we went through and tested all the bolts. It looks like that big guy did fit right there, which is perfect because you can see that when you're on the bike. Actually, all of these you can see when you're on the bike. Look at that. So he's just going through the process of tightening them down. It says 7 Newton meters on there. Are you just gonna hand tighten them, or are you gonna actually go to 7 Newton meters?
I'm gonna hand tighten.
Yeah, because that's the safer way to do them. Actually, when we pulled this off, by the way, there aren't any bolts under there. We both thought there were bolts under there, but there were not. The good news is the double-sided tape with the Velcro did stay on this, or on there and on the piece, so that's good. So he's just gonna go around and tighten all these down. I'll show you what it looks like when he's done. All right, so that's the final one. He's tightening down. He got everything lined up. I was asking him, is there anything special that you need to do with titanium bolts, Dotto, like when you're putting those in?
No, and there is a special torques for a lot of the BMW bolts, cars too. The torques that we were talking about last time.
Oh, yeah.
They are a little bit of a different design that makes them tighter.
You're talking about the actual...
But you can still use these. Now, if you have special torque specs and it's on the heavier side, then
it could be stripped. You could strip them.
Exactly. Yeah. And then this front one, I'm just gonna snug in. I waited for that for the last.
Yeah. And what size were these? These were Torx 20s?
T25 for these.
T25, okay. And it tells you all that on the packaging, which is really nice. But there you go, guys. Look at that.
Ooh.
The difference that the titanium bolts make. Oh my God. It doesn't come across quite as well on camera as it does in person, but holy shit. Okay, so we're just gonna keep rocking and rolling. Let's find some other ones to replace. All right, so we decided to throw the bike up on the lift, and that'll allow us access to all of these belly panel bolts because there's quite a few more than I thought there was. There's like 5 or 6 on each side. So that's what we're gonna do next, get this puppy up in the air, and then we're gonna find all of these bolts, get them all pulled out, and then we'll swap them over. All right, so on this side, I think there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I think there's 6 on this side right here. And again, if Manny has these, I'm gonna double check. I would swap all of those out as well. I know Eves had that, which is pretty cool looking. So yeah, we're just gonna continue to just go through, swap them all, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. So what he's doing is as he pulls them out, he's grabbing ones that are exactly the same. So there's a couple of bigger ones that go through some rubber fittings and go in a little bit further. So he's just making sure he replaces those all at the same time. Then we'll go through and tighten them all down once he's done. But this should be a smaller one, I would imagine. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So that's the difference. You can see him right there. Okay. But look, he's already got 3 of them in. Looks so cool, dude. I hope you guys can see it on camera there. All right, so we got all of these in over here. That's 1, 2 right there. We got 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're gonna roll over to the other side. Or we're gonna do the front bolts.
There's these tiny little guys right here.
Which no one will ever see or ever know, but we will, and you will, if you watch this video. Got these guys in.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, that looks very nice though. The blue on the carbon, fucking phenomenal. So now we can move over to this side, which we should have 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought there was, oh, and 5. Yeah. So there's 1 less over here because we don't have the sprocket bolt. So let's do those, and then if we have leftovers, let's see if we can add any bolts anywhere else. Look at this. So all of these are in. I got that guy there. These down here next to the exhaust. God, it looks so good. And this guy down here. And since we have extra ones left over, we're just gonna throw them in anywhere where you can see them. We're gonna put them in. So there's 2 in down here, and we're just gonna keep looking around for other places where we could put them in and go from there. All right, all the titanium bolts that we can see have been replaced. I actually asked Manny about titanium case cover bolts, which would be all of these bolts here, and then along with rear subframe bolts and the caliper bolts. So if he has those, he's gonna send those out for us as well. We do have a titanium bolt for this coming too. He just found a bracket that he didn't like and nothing was hooked up to it, so we just figured let's save some weight and remove it.
I think the servo motor stuff was...
Oh, that's what it was, yeah. But yeah, you can see all the titanium bolts. Hopefully you guys can see these well on camera. It looks incredible. Up under here, down here, all along the side, and then all up on the top of this as well. Now the next thing we're gonna do, which is probably the last thing for today because we're out of parts actually, is bleed the front braking system. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. All right, since Jaret's the lightest and the nimblest, I climbed up here. We're gonna bleed the brakes. In order to do that, we're going to take the cap off the reservoir, and I'm going to sit up here and pump the brakes and then add brake fluid while Dado's doing his thing down there below. Just 2 dudes and 1 lever. Brake bleeding is done. I didn't have a chance to show it since I was standing up on the thing and Dado, we were both working. But basically we did the same thing we normally do. It's a quick bleeder system. I was just pumping it, he opened it up. I was pumping the brake lever. There actually was quite some air left in the right-hand caliper. So it was good that we got that out of there. And now when you squeeze this thing, hold on, bring that back. When you squeeze this thing, look at this. There's still some movement. So it's really nice because you have like some progressive feel to it, which is really nice about these. The RCS's Brembo Masters are always like that. But man, it's gonna grip really well. The pads aren't bedded in or anything yet. So when we ride it, we're gonna have to do that. But we're gonna push it outside and take some photos. But yeah, this thing there, now you can see all the titanium bolts on the top there. Look incredible. And then all the way down to the side. Look at that thing, what a bike. All right, we got it out here in the fading sunlight, and look at that bike. So again, patreon.com/Campisi Customs if you wanna be entered to win this bike. Get signed up now. We only have one more installation video, then we've got a decal video, a ceramic coating, and it'll pretty much be done. But God, that bike looks incredible. Titanium bolts are in, the brakes are bled, and we have one more installation video left. So again, huge shout out to Manny from Moto Million. Use my code Campisi on anything you order from there. Big thanks to this guy, Dado, for his hard work. The bike looks incredible. People were asking about the cost of this build. How much is this bike worth? That's hard to judge. The cost of the build for us was around $75,000 to $80,000. That doesn't mean that you couldn't buy an M1000RR, get all these parts and do it for cheaper, but that's what it costs us for time and labor. But you know, it's different. This is a build series. We have to show the whole process, take things on and off, and that's just the way that it goes. So I absolutely love how this thing's coming together. I'm really excited to see the decals on it. Again, we have an exhaust sticker coming, an Acro sticker coming as well, but it's gonna be freaking badass. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna be bike shopping probably next week for the next build. I have a very good idea what I wanna do, but I'll run that by you guys when we get there. But that's it for this video. Again, if you guys enjoyed it, give it a big old juicy thumbs up, subscribe for more, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.